What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to Bruce and Stephanie Comics. My name is Bruce, and today is Tuesday, November 15th of 2022. Now, guys, if I sound a little nasally, it's because I have a cold, and I'm fighting it, and I'm gonna get over it, but that's why I sound a little funny today. But, guys, we are just one day away from the best day of the work week. Let's say it together. New Comic Book Day! That's right, guys. We are just one day away from getting those brand new comics in our hand, and, guys, this is one hell of a week for new comic books. I had a really hard time figuring out my top 5 must-have pickups for this week. It was really a struggle. There are so many good books that I really enjoyed, but guys, I was able to do it. That's right, I am a comic book YouTuber and I was able to make my top 5 list. But guys, there are so many other things that we go over in today's video, all covering the amazing books that are coming out this week on New Comic Day, and I have put together a handy dandy list so that way you guys know exactly what we're going to cover in today's video. But if you guys have seen this video series before and you know everything we're going to cover, I left timestamps down in the description below and you guys can go ahead and skip ahead to whatever section you would like. But let's go ahead and go over this checklist. Alright guys, the first thing we're going to go over in today's video, we're going to go over my pull list. I'm going to show you guys every single book that I'm picking up this week. I'll tell you guys what new #1s are coming out and any books that I am not caught up on which will not be in the top 5 must-have pickups. And after that, we'll go over the chopping block. These are the books that I'm considering chopping from my pull list because the stories just aren't that good and they're not engaging me all that much anymore. And after that, we're going to go over my cover lover picks. These are the books that I might be picking up based on the cover art alone. And after that, we're going to go over the almost top 5. These are the books that almost made the top 5 list, and that is because these stories are just so freaking good and you should still consider picking these books up. And then at the end of the video, we're going to go over my top 5 must-have pickups, and these are the books you guys have to be reading because the stories are that good. These are the best books coming out this week based on the story itself. The story, the artwork, everything that makes this book so amazing, and that is why these books are on the top 5 must-have pickups. And this is the most important video for your Wednesday pull list, so guys, make sure you guys stay tuned to every single section because this is, because this is one of the best new comic book day videos out there on YouTube. That's right, I just said that. All right, guys, with the checklist out of the way, let's go ahead and dive in to my pull list. Alright guys, so my pull list is right back here, but in case you guys can't see it, I'm going to go ahead and put it big on the screen right now. There are 19 books on this pull list. This is the first week, I want to say in like 6 weeks, I have not had 20 plus books on my pull list, so it was nice and an easy week for me. But guys, there are 4 new #1s, and there's only one book that I am not caught up on, so almost every single book on this list had an opportunity to be on that top 5 must-have list. Now with the pull list out of the way, let's go ahead and dive in to the books that are on the chopping block. Alright guys, there's only one title on the chopping block this week, but the sad thing is I'm still going to be picking this up because some of the covers for this book are always so freaking good, and I am talking about Catwoman. Catwoman is just a subpar book right now. It really isn't that good. It's not all that engaging. They're not making me care about Selena Kyle at all. It's just kind of meh. I don't really like it. It's written by Tini Howard, and I really do not like Tini Howard's writing, and so that is why this book is on the chopping block. It's just, I'm not connecting with the character like I used to when Joelle Jones was writing it, so this book is now on the chopping block, but I'll still pick it up because I love those Jeff DeCall covers. Alright guys, let's go ahead and move into my cover lover picks. Alright guys, there are 2 covers that I think you guys just have to be picking up this week if you have the money. And I say that because both of these books are incentive covers, so you might have to pay a little over cover price to get your hands on these. And the first one up is Something is Killing the Children, #26, the 1 in 100 Alex Maleev cover. I am a big Something is Killing the Children fan. I am a big Alex Maleev fan, and I think this cover is absolutely fantastic. And I think this might be the only cover that Alex Maleev has done for Something is Killing the Children. Guys, let me know down in the comments below if I am right or if I am wrong, because honestly I didn't look that up before I just said that. But guys, this cover is just absolutely fantastic. And the other cover that I think you guys might want to consider is Nightwing issue #98, the 1 in 25 incentive cover done by Dan Hipp. Now some people are not big Dan Hipp fans, but guys, I am a huge Dan Hipp fan. I try to pick up all of his 1 in 25 covers because I just think they're absolutely fantastic. Now what I really enjoy about Dan Hipp is there are little Easter eggs or little details that if you look close enough, there's just like little extras that are just so amazing, and if you look really close closely on like Nightwing's chain, there's like a little Robin, and then there's Haley or Batwing, and it's just little cool little hints that are like to little stories in his artwork that is just absolutely fantastic, and I love his artwork. So I'm going to try to score myself this cover right here because it is just that cool in my opinion. All right, guys, with my cover lever picks out of the way, let's go ahead and go over all the books that are on my almost top 5 list. Alright guys, there are 6 books that made the almost top 5 list. Now all of these books could have made the top 5 list because these stories are actually that good. So let's go ahead and dive into these books. And the first one up is Prodigy. Issue number 5 comes out this week, and I really am enjoying this story. Now this is written by Mark Millar, and some people are Mark Millar fans and some people aren't. But I fall into the category as I'm a big Mark Millar fan. I enjoy his writing style and I enjoy his characters. And if you guys have not read Prodigy, it's like this guy who's super duper smart and he's put into like situations where he has to use his big brain, and this is just such a cool story. I really enjoyed it, and you guys should be checking it out. And the book after that is an amazing book called Chicken Devil Volume 2. This is issue number 2 of the second volume, and if you guys are not reading Chicken Devil, you guys are missing out of a story that is so freaking good. It kind of feels a little bit like Breaking Bad, but different. So if you're a Breaking Bad fan, you guys might want to check this out. Now the reason why this did not make the top 5 list is because of the art inside the book. I am just not a fan of this new artist, but guys, the story is still really, really good. I love the story. And the next book up is the new run of I Hate Fairyland. Issue number 1 comes out this week. Now, I did not read the first volume of this book, but I'm picking this up because I'm a big fan of Scotty Young's writing. I think he's done so many good things as of late. I'm talking about Strange Academy, Twig, and there's another book like You Promised Me Darkness or something. I forgot what it is, but it's a girl, she's drinking wine. It was a really fun story, and I'm just a big Scotty Young fan, so I'm going to check this out. It looks crazy and wacky, and I just love that. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this up, and I hope I really enjoy it. And the book after that is Something is Killing the Children, issue number 26, dropped this week, written by James Tynion IV, art by Werther Dell'Edera. It's monsters, it's a monster killer, there's so many cool things happening in this, and it's issue number 26. If you're not on the bandwagon already, jump on, get the trades, get caught up. After that, we have Deceased, War of the Undead Gods, issue number 4, comes out this week. I believe this is an 8-issue miniseries, closing out this Deceased world story, and it's really good. Again, if you're not caught up already, guys, it's an Elseworld tale. There's zombies in the DC universe killing everybody. They found a cure, but man, there's something else happening in Undead Gods, and man, is it good. And after that, we have the final book on my almost top 5 list, and it is Nightwing, issue number 98, written by Tom Taylor, art by Bruno Redondo, and they're introducing Nightmite in this issue. So this is the first appearance of Nightmite, which is, I guess, like a Batmite, but like Nightwing's version of it. So this story has been really, really good. I just didn't love the way issue number 97 ended. It was like an okay issue overall, but it was kind of lackluster, so that's why issue number 98 is not on the top 5 must-have list. But guys, Tom Taylor, Bruno Redondo, dream team right there. It's a great story. I'm not saying it's not great because that's why it's on the almost top 5. It just didn't crack the top 5 list. All right, guys, so that is the almost top 5. So what books actually made my top 5 list? Well, it's time to find out. Let's dive right in. Alright guys, the book that's in the number 5 spot, kicking off this top 5 list, is none other than Batman, Superman, World's Finest, issue number 9, drops this week. Now this is written by Mark Waid and art by Dan Mora. That's right, I said Dan Mora, one of the best artists in the game right now. I would put him right behind like Jorge Jimenez, because Jorge Jimenez is my favorite by far. His artwork is so freaking good. And guys, make sure you guys are going to pick up Nemesis, written by Mark Millar and art by Jorge Jimenez, because that's going to be epic. But we're not talking about that. No, we're talking about Batman, Superman, World's Finest, issue number 9. Now this latest story arc features a sidekick to Superman that we've never met before, and there's some dark things going on with this character. We have high hopes for him, and there's something dark and twisted going around him that might backfire on them. And that is just really cool in my opinion. A sidekick to Superman that we never met before? Heck yeah. And I just love the artwork by Dan Mora. It's so stunning. It's so amazing. Alright guys, that is the number 5 book. It is really good. You guys should be checking it out, especially if you're a fan of DC Comics and you're a fan of Batman and Superman. And guys, again, the artwork by Dan Mora is so good. Alright guys, that is the number 5 book. Let's go ahead and dive in to the number 4. Alright guys, with DC's War of the Undead Gods not making the top 5 list, that obviously means the other Elseworld story had to make the list. So, the book that's in the number 4 spot is none other than DC vs. Vampires All Out War, issue number 5, written by Matthew Rosenberg, Alex Packendall, and Matthew Manning, and art by Pasquale Colano and Aki Bright. This story is so good. It is so much better than I thought it was going to be, because, you know, this is a spin-off from the main title, but guys, the feels in this book are so big and so they're just hitting home. They're so good. So the whole story, if you didn't know, vampires have started to turn so many of the heroes and villains into vampires, and they've pretty much taken over the world. And this book is following a group of heroes and villains that are trying to push back and help the main characters with the big mission that is going on. And we have characters like Mary Marvel, Booster Gold, Slade Wilson, Midnighter. There's so many good characters, and in every single issue there's something tragic that happens to one of the heroes or one of the villains, or like the vampires start doing something terrible, and it's just like heart-wrenching, but then something like magical happens and it's like, oh man, that's so good. And I am just loving this story. Matthew Rosenberg is just crafting such a great tale. I'm really enjoying it, and you guys should be checking out this book. And the artwork in this book is really cool. It's black and white but with some splashes of red in it, and it's just so good. So good. I love it. I just love it. And there's some really cool variant covers for this, so make sure you guys are keeping an eye out for those as well. All right, guys, that is the number 4 book. Let's go ahead and dive into the number 3. Alright guys, the book that's in the number 3 spot is a book that I had a hard time finding the right position in this top 5 list to put it in, because it was in the almost top 5, and then it was in the number 5 spot, and then the number 4 spot. I'm like, no, this book is really good. I am just concerned that you guys might be like, Bruce, this book really isn't that good, or this book doesn't really have smash 'em up, really crazy action in it. And it doesn't. It's kind of like a romantic comedy type story, and I'm talking about She-Hulk. That's right, She-Hulk issue number 8 comes out this week. It's written by Rainbow Rowell and art by Takashi. I'm not going to even try to pronounce his last name. But guys, I am falling head over heels for this story. It is so good. And there's really not a lot of crazy action in it. There is little like things here and here that happen, because obviously this is a superhero book. But the main thing with this story is Jennifer Walters getting back to being a lawyer and helping people. And she is helping, obviously, the superhero community. And it is just awesome, because you get little cameos from all these different characters from around the Marvel Universe, and they're so amazing. And in issue number 7, there was I'm forgetting the characters. There was Doombot and forgetting the son of Ultron. I forgot his name, but guys, it was so good, because I haven't seen that character in so long, and Doombot is such a funny character, and Rainbow Rowell is crafting such an awesome story with Jack of Hearts. I know there's something dark in him, and it's gonna like backfire on Jennifer Walters, but I love seeing her happy. I love seeing like just two people come together and having a really good time. That's like very rare in comic books. There's always like things being torn down and falling apart and destruction and death and sadness. It is just nice to find a story where something nice is happening. It's like people getting together, they're in a relationship, they feel like maybe they're falling in love, and it's awesome, and I love it. But we also get some action here and there, and cameos. Who doesn't like a good cameo? This is a great book, and the artwork by Takashi is so good. It's so good. This is a whole run of a book. It's in the number 3 spot. It's like right in the middle of this top 5 list. So that's how good She-Hulk is, in my opinion, guys. If you guys are enjoying She-Hulk, guys, leave a comment down below. And the Jen Bartel covers for them are always so good. It's a great book. Read She-Hulk. All right, guys, let's find out what the number 2 book is. Alright guys, the book that's in the number 2 spot is another book that's just full of feels. It hits home. It makes you feel really good. The writer of this book connects you with the characters so deeply. I am absolutely in love with this book. I am talking about Wind Thrown in the Sky. Issue number 4 comes out this week. Written by James Tynion IV. Art by Michael Delanis. Now I believe every single issue of this book has been on this top 5 list, because I am a big supporter of this book. And I think you guys should be supporting this book as well. Now this is the one book that I think does woke well. That's right. I am not a big fan of this whole woke movement. I will say it, because I think it's not done well in a majority of comics. But the one book that I think is doing it really well is this book right here. It deals with transgender. It deals with homosexuality. It deals with like the fact that there's so much hate out there in the world, and why is there so much hate out there in the world? This doesn't need to be, and guys, this book does it the best. I love this book so much. You feel for the characters, you fall in love with the characters, you want these characters to succeed, but there's so many people pushing against them and pushing them down and trying to like destroy their hopes and dreams. And that's what this book is dealing with in a very fantastical way, because there's fairies and all kinds of crazy fantastical creatures. There's a giant in this last issue, which was really freaking cool. There were just so many good things in this book. It's a woke book. I enjoy this book. I love this book. There's a lot of really good covers, especially for issue number 1 of this series. I really don't love the variant covers since issue number 1, but guys, this book is a must-have pickup. It's a must-have pickup. It's a great read. I love this book. Read this book. Read it. Look at it, because the artwork is fantastic. All right, guys, that is my number 2 book. Let's dive in to my number 1. All right, guys, the book that's in my number 1 spot was a little bit of a shocker. But the more I think about it, it wasn't a shocker at all, because the writer on this book is so freaking good. Now, this book is Junkyard Joe. Issue number 2 comes out this week. It's written by Geoff Johns and art by Gary Frank. And just saying those 2 names, you should be like, yeah, that's a really good book. And of course it is, because Geoff Johns is an amazing freaking writer. And this book, Junkyard Joe, is an expansion on the Geiger universe. Now, this story is following a robot. That's right, I said it. A robot who is put into a platoon in Vietnam. And this platoon goes on a mission, and then these people befriend the robot. But the robot does not speak, but they befriend him anyways. And it is such a cool story. And then at the end, something really tragic happens, and the robot tries to compute it, and he doesn't know how to handle it. And then we see Richard Nixon, and it is just a really well-rounded, amazing comic book. And the art by Gary Frank was so freaking good. I cannot wait to continue reading this book. It's part of the Geiger universe. Geiger was such an amazing book. You guys should go read that, but you don't have to read that to enjoy this book. But I hope that this does tie in more deeply into the Geiger universe in the future issues, because this book was so good. And Gary Frank, god damn it, man, you are such a freaking good artist. You are definitely in my top 5 list of best artists out there right now. Jorge Jimenez, Dan Mora, Gary Frank, and there's some other ones that I'm probably forgetting about. But god damn it, this book was so good. So good. Read Junkyard Joe. Support Geoff Johns and Gary Frank on their Geiger universe, because they deserve it, because it's so freaking good. All right, guys, that is my top 5 must-have pickup list for the week of November 16th of 2022. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up. All right, guys, you guys have made it to the end of the video, and if you guys have made it this far, you guys know what you are. Let me hear you say it. You guys are legends. Thank you guys so much for watching this long of the video. It helps support the channel so much. Hits an algorithm just in the right spot. All right, guys, now if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, get yourself subscribed. Hit that bell for notification and smash that like button. Now, I do want to say one thing, guys. Go ahead and leave a comment down below letting me know what your top 5 list is, what your cover lover picks are, what books are on your chopping block, and last but not least, are there any books that are on your almost top 5 list? Let me know down in the comments. Last but not least, if you guys are still watching this video, what would you guys think if I changed the name of this video to Your Wednesday Pull List? What do you think? Does that sound better? Would that get more people to watch these videos? Or should I keep it my top 5 must-have pickups? Guys, let me know down in the comments. I would really appreciate your thoughts. All right, guys, thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys next week. And I'm really close to having everything I need for that new video. I'm waiting on 2 more packages, and I think one's coming today and one's coming tomorrow, so that video should drop next week. All right, guys, have yourself a great new comic book day. I'll see you on Thursday or Friday with my comic book speculation recommendation. All right, guys, have a good one. Peace.